Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds. Today, we're doing a deck tech for Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose.
We're going to showcase a never-before-seen, brand new commander strategy using life as a resource.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Do you like us cranking out Commander 21, Core Set 21 decks? We're doing it. You better subscribe.
Are you a fan of Beezy also making the same mistake 2 videos in a row? And besides, you want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% more alive.
Disclaimer guy here. Forget what they said. They forgot to shout out Ken, the tech guy. We love you, Ken, and Disclaimer guy is here for you. I got your back.
I don't know if that means that our non-subscribers are 10% more dead or 10% less alive. Just don't think about it.
No,
Take the bonus. Come subscribe.
It makes you 10% more. If you're like super alive, you're just going to be 10% more alive. You're going to get more alive.
Yeah, but what are our non-subscribers in relation to?
They're just what they are.
All right. Well, there's a new spoiler. His name's Vito. He's the most Italian vampire ever conceived by anyone. He's the Thorn of the Dusk Rose, and we're going to read him. 2 and a black for a 1/3 legendary vampire cleric. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. 3 black. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. The main sticking point there is, oh my god, it's Sanguine Bond on a creature. Static ability for 3 mana.
That's what we're getting here. There's an infinite combo with it. Can you believe it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We're going to describe what the deck does. It basically just wants to kind of put up your typical mono black defenses like BS start kind of where you go get Cabal Coffers and stuff. That's not actually part of the strategy, but that's what every mono black deck spends the first 4 turns doing anyway. So you're doing typical mono black stuff, and then we're going to start gaining tiny amounts of life and then big life, and then we're going to just torpedo our opponent's life total all at once.
Yeah, we're going to use life as a resource.
Which we said is never before seen.
Never before seen, and it's actually the first category for this deck.
Yeah, this is ways to... We're going to go over life gain after we talk about how to tank your own life total. Thought that was funny.
Weird order that you chose.
I liked it. I chose it on purpose.
You chose this on purpose.
I did.
So life is a resource. We're gaining life in this deck because, well, our commander wants us to gain life. So
we're going to do it as many times as we can.
Obviously, there's ways to gain life. So Toxic Deluge is a simple one. You pay X life, and all creatures get -X. Simple. Best board up in the format.
Yep. Necropotence. You pay life. Essentially, you draw a card at the end step, and then you can't draw during your draw step.
Yep.
Crick. I know we were supposed to go every other, but these are the easy ones. Yeah. Crick is just, why don't you just read it?
4 Phyrexian Black for a 2/2. Whenever you cast a black spell, he gets a +1/+1 counter. He's got lifelink, and instead of using black pips and cost, you can pay 2 life instead.
That's a lot of life you can pay, and it ends up being great for us. Dismember. I just put this because it's a cheeky little removal spell. It's 1 and 2 Phyrexian black mana, so it could be 1 and 4 life. Probably is going to be that. Target creature gets -5/-5. It's an instant. Super effective. I don't think this really sees much play at all.
I mean, you just got to look forward to like
in Commander.
It definitely doesn't see much play in Commander, but it can. When you have a ton of life, it's not really a big deal, and it kills most things, most threats. There are big threats that obviously doesn't kill in Commander because it's Commander. There's 8 running around. Yeah,
this is like Swords to Plowshares level good in this deck. It's close. Like it's that when it kills something, it is that efficient.
Yeah, when it kills something, it is that efficient.
Right.
I agree with that.
There's going to be a few things it can't kill.
Yeah, there is anything bigger than 5, but it can't kill.
Which is that's barely anything.
That's not barely anything.
There's like the big dummies, but some of the big dummies just don't even matter. It even kills Avenger of Zendikar. Kills Craterhoof Behemoth.
Kills a lot of good. I'm not saying it doesn't kill good things. I'm saying
there are acting like it stops the Craterhoof Behemoth trigger. It just kills Craterhoof. It stops it.
Yeah, we got him.
Done. Plunge into Darkness is 1 and a black for an instant. Choose 1. Sacrifice any number of creatures. You gain 3 life for each creature sacrificed. Pay X life. Then look at the top X cards of your library. Put 1 into your hand, and the rest get exiled. And you can entwine it for black. So it's really 1 black to do both of these things. And the first time you gain the life, and then you pay the life. So you can kind of, even in response to a board wipe, all right, turn my whole team into 30 life, and then I'm going to look at the top. You really don't want to go past 10 with this because you exile the rest. They're gone.
Yeah, be careful. Don't go too insane because you might just die.
But actually, we'll talk about it later. There might be a reason you want to pay all your life except for 1.
You're tantalizing. Doom Whisperer is a 6/6 flyer for 5, and it has trample, but also you can pay 2 life and just surveil 2, which means you look at the top 2. You can put any number of them in your graveyard and the rest back on the top in any order.
I love this card. This is one of the coolest cards. It's like a push standard mythic that never got there, but is cool in Commander.
I don't know. It's boring.
Oh, it's cool. In this deck, it's cool. You get to pay any amount of life, like over and over in pairings of 2, and it just fixes your draws. And we'll talk about why there's so many cards that say pay life : or pay X life. It's a thing.
I'm not saying we don't want to go low. I'm agreeing with you that we want to go low. But
How low can we go?
I don't know. Low enough to sing a bad Ludacris song, probably. Yawgmoth Thran Physician is the best Yawgmoth ever printed.
No, it's the worst Yawgmoth ever printed.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's the best and worst Yawgmoth ever printed. It's 2 black for a 2/4 with protection from humans. What a weird card. Protection from humans always sticks out in my head because it's so weird.
It's flavorful.
It is flavorful. You can sacrifice a creature, pay 1 life, and put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card.
What a complicated ability. That's 4 things. Just on you're paying life, you draw a card, you sacrifice a creature, and you put a -1/-1 counter.
It does do a lot. Or you can pay black and discard a card and proliferate. We're not so worried about that in this deck. The sacrifice ability is so good.
It's ridiculous. This is one of the best like aristocrat cards they've ever made. We have talked a million times about how we love Yawgmoth, so you guys know he's amazing.
This card is absolutely bonkers insane. And when the life becomes absolutely trivial in a deck like this, some decks, life's not as trivial, but it is so trivial in the deck where we have Vito.
Our life is a joke.
I don't know what I expected you to say, but I just said Vito really weird.
Yeah, you did.
It was like a cliffhanger Vito. Come on. Vito? Am I right? What's Font of Agony do?
Yeah, Font of Agonies, a.k.a. Comic Sans. It is black for an enchantment. Whenever you pay life, you put that many counters on it. So if you pay 4 life, it gets 4 counters. And you can pay 1 and a black and remove 4 counters from it to destroy target creature. This is, with all of these cards that almost exclusively say pay life, this thing just comes down for almost nothing, racks up counters, and then you just machine gun down creatures.
Yeah, BZ, that's a term that you like.
Machine gun?
Machine gun, yeah, you use that term a lot.
Whenever it applies. It applies perfectly.
I'm not saying
it's a direct analogy to the Font of Agony.
To a machine gun.
To a fountain.
I can't think of anything that is any better of an analogy to a machine gun.
Magic the Gathering has a lot of references to machine guns.
They love machine guns.
Now we're gaining life.
Oh, now we're gaining life?
Yeah, in little increments. These are the tiny life gains.
This is little life gains. So we have Blood Artist, which, come on.
Okay, we're not reading
Nitpicking Nerds Hall of Fame. He's up here. He's an 0-1. He's a drainer. He paints with blood.
You just kind of, it's like you set it and forget it. It's just going to end up gaining you life. Things happen. Decks are trying to do their own thing. They're jockeying for position. It's probably going to gain you, like, if it doesn't die and we're not abusing it, like 10 life. And then Vito does 10 extra damage because of it.
Vito?
Yes. Why are you saying it weird every time?
I did that on purpose.
We're not making a Danny DeVito joke. I prefer the Italian joke. That's where we stand on it.
He's an Italian vampire. He has an Italian name. He's a conquistador.
Yeah, that's true. I never even thought about it. I thought that was in conflict, but no, it all lines up.
Yeah,
but I think that Vito sounds like Disclaimer Guy.
He probably does sound something like Disclaimer Guy. Maybe.
You don't have to do the impression. We already know you're really good at it.
I'm really good at Disclaimer Guy impressions, but I don't like to show off too much.
Right. What are some sack outlets, though?
Some sack outlets are Disciple of Gristlebrand, which is
a 1/1 for 2, and you sack a creature and you pay 1, and you gain life equal to its toughness.
Buy on the next one. It's Butch Me Poacher, which is a 2/4 for 3 black, and you can tap it or pay 1, tap it, sacrifice a creature, and gain life equal to its toughness, and draw a card.
Yeah, it's one time, but you get the card back right away, so it's okay. It's probably the worst card in this deck or one of them, but I think you want it just because it's another sack outlet that says toughness.
It's Butch Me Poacher.
Or that says life gain. And Disciple of Bolas, it's a 4-mana 2/1, and you sacrifice another creature when it enters, and you draw cards and gain life equal to its power. Just rock solid. Like, there's almost nothing to say because the fact that they do their thing is secondary to the fact that they just gain life.
It's because you're on life gain. I mean, both these things are very good, and when life gain has the extra bonus, like it does on Vito da Corleone or whatever, I don't always call him.
I don't even know who that is. Is that a person?
Godfather. Vito Corleone. The Godfather.
I never saw that movie.
Okay. Next on this little life gain is Timoret, Chosen by Death. He's black for a 2-star, and the star is equal to devotion to black. And you can pay 1 and a black to exile 2 cards from any graveyards. And for each creature exiled this way, you gain 1 life.
I love this guy. He's black Scavenging Ooze.
He is very good. He's much better. He is a Scavenging Ooze-esque creature. He doesn't get boofed. He doesn't get boofed. He doesn't get buffed, but with counters like Scavenging Ooze. But he still exiles a ton. And in a mono black deck, he's gonna have a huge butt.
Arguably, he's easier to activate in multicolor decks because maybe you don't have 6 green lying around, but if you have 6 black and 6 other, then you don't have to like spend only black mana on it.
We're gonna have a ton of black mana though in this deck.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I put these together because they're really similar. They're chunky boys who gain life and then have reasonable bodies. Noxious Gearhulk. I love this card. It's a 6 mana 5/4 menace artifact creature. ETB, kill something, gain life equal to its toughness. And then Cavalier of Knights, a 4/5. ETB, you sack something and you blow up something and has lifelink. So that's where the life gain comes in. And then when it dies, you reanimate a tiny creature.
Yeah, probably reanimate something like what you sacked.
One artist?
Or whatever you sack to it. If it wasn't.
Oh,
token.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
There are things we're not mentioning. I'm not going over the sort of mono black like staple like Bloodghast is in here, Nether Trader is in here, Reassembling Skeletons in here. They're going to be around. So we have bodies to sack to this stuff. So don't worry.
Yeah. Throw Parasite is a little tiny duder who just doesn't matter what all of his text is. Basically, he's just a cheap version to have Extort. And Crypt is a little more expensive. It costs 3 and a black for a 2/2, but your swamps tap for double. And in a mono black deck, that's pretty good. He also has Extort.
Extort is extra good with Vito because when Vito's in play, everybody loses 1, you gain 3, and somebody else loses 3. So you get to deal 6 damage for 1 mana. Is that good?
Yeah, it definitely is good.
Okay, yeah, that's also good. I wanted to mention another one that I kind of just didn't put on here, but it's a cute bad card. It's Gonti's Machinations. It's 1 black for an enchantment. Whenever you lose life for the first time each turn, you get an energy. And you can pay 2 energy and sack it. Each opponent loses 3 life. You gain life equal to life lost this way. So for 1 mana, if you lose life twice, which there's plenty of ways to do that, it's 18 damage.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That card's kind of cool.
The math seems like it adds up.
The math
1 card, 18 damage.
Yeah, that math adds up to something good, but it's still a silly card.
It's a jank card, for sure, in a vacuum.
What's Taste of Death?
Taste of Death is a weird card I figured we'd try out. It's 4 black for sorcery. Each player sacrifices 3 creatures, and then you make 3 foods. Foods gain life.
Oh, yes. Taste of Death. I remember this card now.
You make 3 lightning helixes.
It was in the Brawl decks. Technically a card in Standard, but not a card that not everyone ever would remember that's in Standard, but it is.
I'm not sure why it only makes 3 foods. Kind of a bummer. Should make a food for each creature that's sacrificed.
Maybe that was too.
There's just too many foods.
Maybe they thought that was too good for Brawl. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to balance Brawl. Who cares?
Yeah. All right. Moving on to lands.
3 little lands that can gain us some life. High Market. You can tap and sack a creature, gain 1 life. Tomb of the Spirit Dragon is a colorless land, or you can pay 2 and tap it to gain life equal to the number of colorless creatures you control, which we'll have some. Mirror in the Morning Well is a colorless land, and you can tap it and pay 3 to sacrifice a creature and gain life equal to its toughness.
This is all just incidental stuff. This doesn't have to be plan A, but some of our lands are going to be cool, neat little ways to just deal some chip damage to opponents with Vito.
There's nothing wrong. When we're in a mono black deck, we have a lot of utility to work with, because even though you're thinking, man, don't we want Cabal Coffers to be better? Well, it turns out Urborg is a card, and that card's stupid.
Yeah, number 1, Cabal Coffers is so aggressively lame that I'm not necessarily making this deck to be 36 swamps and an Urborg and a Cabal Coffers. I'm showing you all the lands that have synergy with this guy, and you can adjust it however you want. Whatever your least favorites are, you can cut them for swamps. Can we just ban Cabal Coffers? Moving on.
No.
Gaining life. Big. This is big life gain.
More than 1 life. Calm down. You just hit your...
I did.
Don't knock out the microphone.
Typically, I don't know. I want to say more than 5 at a time. I don't know. Let's just start reading them.
Sure. First one is Crypt Incursion. It's 2 and a black for an instant. Exile all creatures from target player's graveyard. You gain 3 life for each creature exiled this way.
That can get nasty.
I mean, that's going to be... How is that not going to be a solid, 21 life?
It could be lethal. It could maybe be lethal with Vito.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. It also deals the damage. Oh, Vito,
I think that good. If you really want to be a jerk and you have Vito out and this, let's say this is lethal, for example, somebody goes to say, I'd like to cast Craterhoof Behemoth to win the game. You can go I'd like to veto that proposition, and then you kill them.
Yes, I'm a douche.
Yes. That is officially the dirtiest word we've ever used.
That's false. We say badass on this channel.
That's not dirtier than... Okay. What's the next one?
Next one is Whip of Erebos, which is 2 black for a legendary enchantment artifact, and it gives all of your creatures lifelink, and you can pay 2 black, tap it to put a creature from your graveyard onto the battlefield. It gains haste, and at the end of the turn, you exile it.
Yep, if we go anywhere else, it's gone. This is just going to be Vito's second ability is cool, and I'm glad it's there. I don't want to have to pay 5 every turn for that, so let's just make a static with Whip.
I don't know. Whip is a really good card. I put this in a lot of EDH decks.
Well, it is, but it seems like counterintuitive, but 5 mana is way too expensive.
I like how this is a card that is good in life gain and good in Reanimator, and you just get the other side depending on which deck you're in.
Right, the other side is a bonus. In this case, the Reanimator is kind of the bonus.
Yeah, Reanimator bonus. Sometimes it's the opposite where you just have this awesome Reanimator card, but on top of that, guess what? We have lifelink bonus.
Gain a couple lives. All right, these ones trigger when your opponents do things. Polluted Bonds is an enchantment. Whenever they play a land, they lose 2 and you gain 2, and then Vito's going to say, hey, someone gets to lose an extra 2. And then, which kind of means if somebody plays a land, you can just bully somebody else and use every trigger to target somebody. And then Curse of Fool's Wisdom enchants somebody. Whenever they draw a card, same thing. They lose 2, you gain 2.
Yeah. Be careful. These are the kind of cards that draw targets to you.
They're so annoying. They are really annoying.
They're so annoying. They're the classic. Every time I play a land, my opponent goes trigger.
Yeah.
Trigger.
Tip to play this deck. Don't do that. Just find a not annoying way to remind people. Don't be like the Ristic Study. You're gonna pay the 1. Like, don't make it worse than it already is. They're less likely to kill it if you're not a jerk about it.
Trigger. Pontiff of Blight is a 2/7 for 6. I couldn't. Yeah, for 4 black, and all your creatures have extort, so you can extort like crazy. You can cast like a Soul Ring and then use the rest of your black mana to just absolutely drain your opponents and just do a ton of damage.
Yeah, 5. If you pay 5 mana to extort 5 times, that is 30 damage.
Ouch.
And you gain pretty much that much life. I think you gain 15.
You gain, everybody will take 50.
30 is distributed in various ways, and you gain 15.
That's gonna.
Is that good?
Is that good? Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
It is
Okay.
good.
Yes, it is good. Confirmed. Extort is so good in this deck.
Extort is so good.
Yeah, these next 2 cards, kind of no brainers. Didn't put them in the win cons because we got more interesting stuff to talk about. Kakusho, the Evening Star, 6 mana for a 5/5. When it dies, drain each player for 5, and you gain life total amount. So you're gonna gain 15. Then somebody loses 15.
Ugh.
Don't have to really explain that. Gray Merchant, also don't really have to explain it. ETB, drain them for your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the total, and I can't imagine somebody's not dying after that.
Yeah, and you actually forgot one more card, which is Signalman Sir, which is a 3/3 flyer for 2 black. And whenever an opponent discards a card, you gain 3 life. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 3 life.
Can't wipe the board with this out, or
No.
can you? Because then Vito will be gone. So you can wipe the board with this out.
Yes, you can wipe the board with this out.
But if, I'm controlling it and then I have choice over which creatures die, I'm going to just take the, lightning helixes over and over and over until you wipe the board.
You can't wipe the board with this out if Vito is indestructible.
Accurate
Ooh.
statement.
Got him.
Taste it.
Not that we have any way to do that.
We really don't care about that. Winning the game, though, I like the next 2 more than the first one, so I'll let you read the boring first combo.
Oh, this is sort of boring when you're looking at it, but it is classic just staple of when you're in life gain and you're in black, this combo is just free to throw in.
Yeah, I don't really think we have to read any of them either
at
this point.
It's a 3-card combo. It's Boss of Citadel, Aetherflux Reservoir, and Divining Top. If you don't know the combo, Boss of Citadel is out, Top is out, Aetherflux Reservoir is out. You can now tap the Sensei's Divining Top, draw a card, put it on top, pay 1 life to play it, you'll gain 1 life with Aetherflux. Then next time you do the exact same thing again, you'll gain 2. You'll gain 3 until you have enough life to just machine gun down your opponents with a giant laser.
It looks just like a machine gun. Yeah, the funniest thing I think with Aetherflux Reservoir is that it's the highest amount ever on a card of pay life. Mm-hmm. So with Font of Agonies, you can put 50 counters on it. It's like the most irrelevant trigger that happens. It's a 50. Okay, let's keep track of that.
Put 50 counters on
That's a
Font.
useful endeavor.
That's funny.
Yeah, all right. This next one is actually a 2-card combo with Vito, and it's not with Exquisite Blood, which we'll talk about next, I guess. It is Vito plus Blood Tribute. Blood Tribute is 4 black for sorcery. It has Kicker, tap and untap vampire. Well, isn't that convenient? Vito's a vampire. V for vampire. And to drain someone equal to half their life, round it up, and then you gain that much life if it was kicked, which it always is. So no matter what their life is, they're dead. They lose.
No, it's it's pretty funny. Also, you said V for vampire. No, so he's Vito the Vampire.
Yeah, Vito the Vampire.
I didn't even realize he was Vito the Vampire until we said it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Vito the Vampire. This is just a one-shot kill to somebody.
It is a guaranteed one-shot kill, assuming it resolves.
How much mana does it cost? Say you have Vito out already.
So it's 6. It's 4 black. The kicker is tap Vito. It's not even mana.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just kill target player.
You just kill him. And then I think kill everyone is also even better. So what's that?
What is it? Well, I mean,
Exquisite Blood.
Exquisite Blood. Vito plus Exquisite Blood equals people die.
Exquisite Blood is the inverse. Whenever they lose life, you gain life. So that triggers Vito, which triggers that. And it's infinite life loss, life gain. They lose on the spot, pretty much.
All players lose. You literally have to gain any amount of life, or you have to have an opponent lose any amount of life, and the game ends.
It's dumb. That's why this card would be pretty annoying, because we've just showed you 2, like, insta-kills.
Well, yeah.
For at least one player, right?
I mean, having half of a 2-card combo in your command zone is really lame.
When it's a strict upgrade, because Sanguine Bond is like a bad card, I think.
Sanguine Bond is a bad card and costs like 5 mana.
It's a 5 mana enchantment that does nothing, but Exquisite Blood is also that. But when you cut it out, and now I don't have to play bad 5 mana enchantment, I only need to play 1 bad 5 mana enchantment. It gets way better.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing I could figure out what to do with this deck is Eternity Vessel. It is 6 mana for an artifact. It enters the battlefield with X charge counters, where X is your life total, and then landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, your life becomes equal to the number of charge counters on it.
Now, my only funny question about this is there any way for your opponent at instant speed to remove all the counters from it?
There's a million ways to do that.
What's the best
Vampire
way?
Hexmage.
Well, what's this? I want to be surprised.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, Vampire Hexmage is hilarious though. It's just like, imagine like they have like what's the flash character?
But I think
Vidal could aura out. Is it May?
It's a May anyway.
Oh, it's a
So
May.
you really
Never
can't
mind.
get blown out that bad.
I wanted to get blown out by it. I thought it'd be hilarious.
But this is the coolest card, and I have to explain why. Because you play Eternity Vessel, your life is somewhere around 40, maybe 50, if you're lucky. But it's at least 30. So it gets 30 counters on it, and then you're going to pay all your life. And you're going to go down to like 1 with one of those million cards we just mentioned. And then you're going to play a land, and your life total is going to go back from 1 to like 50, and you just kill somebody. Because your life total changes from 1 to 50. It's counting as you gaining 49, so somebody loses 49 life.
Yeah, that is something to note. Say, like, any card, there's not one in this deck, like Soul's Conduit, where you switch life totals. It counts as them losing that amount of life. Say they're at 30 and you're at 1. They have now lost 29 life, and you've gained 29 life.
Yeah, it sees it as, how did it change? Well, they lost life.
Yes, it sees it as life gain and life loss.
This is definitely the coolest thing, and it's basically another insta-kill, right?
You
just have to play a land.
I mean,
you play this, pay life, play a land.
I mean, yeah, you just get to go like
Necropotence is in our deck in play. That instant plunge is 2 mana. Mm-hmm. Pay all your life.
I mean, yeah, or I mean, even you can pay all your life with Toxic Deluge.
Mm-hmm. That's what I put that one in there too. It's Carrick can easily ramp you up and just pay a bunch of life.
I mean, you can pay a ton. I mean, this is going to do so much damage so easily. This is a cool card. Not one I feel like we've never put this in the deck before.
Not even close, because it's not good, but it is good in here. And I'm telling you right now, I could see this spiking. I could see this being the first card the Nitpicking nerds impact the price of.
No, we've done more.
What do you think? We'll save it for the tidbit. How about we'll save it for the tidbit? We'll shout out patrons.
So we're going to go deck techs over. Special shout outs to all of our patrons. If you want to join them, you can go to Nitpicking. No, you can't go there. You can't go there because it's not a real place. But if you want to join them, you can go to patreon.com/user/Nitpicking nerds and join the poopy babies. We love all of them as much as we can without making them uncomfortable. And honestly, they're the best. Super secret special shout out to Esper Ragnarok.
Yeah, once again, we are going to have to shout out our new initiative, and we're going to make a hashtag on Twitter. Do you want to figure that out right now?
Hashtag on Twitter, notice the nerds.
Hashtag notice the nerds. I'm assuming that's not already a hashtag, but you need to help us get a preview card. We are going to reach out to as many people as humanly possible so that Wizards knows we exist, so that we can get a super sexy preview card, so that we can make all the fans happy, because they're dying to see it.
At Wizards, at all of Wizards employees, at Reed Duke, at
At Ian Duke.
At Ian Duke, at Mark Rosewater, at anybody, use the hashtag notice the nerds.
Notice the nerds. Yeah, that would help us out a lot, and that's probably that is by far the best thing you could do without paying money to help the channel.
Yeah, but and thanks to everyone who does pay money in any way. If you can't get enough of me, and you just love seeing me.
Sometimes me.
Sometimes Beezy.
I did just stream twice today.
For a total of 5 minutes. If you can't get enough of me and sometimes Beezy, you can follow us on Twitch. Link is in the description below. So go ahead, head over to Twitch, give us a follow. I stream on weekdays from 12 to 4 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so the tidbit, what cards do you think we have had any hand in raising the price of?
Cards that I can't remember. We went over this with a card that we talked about like a ton.
Like what?
I mean,
I can't think. You think Necropotence? I don't think that was us.
We talked about.
I think it was just buyouts, dude.
We talked about Necropotence for weeks.
We did.
Way before it went up.
Plenty of Commander quickies back in the day of why is this card $6. It is so much better. It should probably just be banned. Why is it $6?
Why is this card cost less money than Phyrexian Arena? We had that conversation forever.
Yes.
That conversation on the early Nitpicking Nerds happened probably in like 10 episodes.
And I would like to say, if we're going to throw our hat into the ring of Cultivate is overrated, yeah, welcome aboard, everybody. We talked about this like a year ago.
Cultivate is overrated. We're coming for you, Mitch.
Yeah, we're coming for you, man. We already did that.
You stole our thing.
Yeah.
You! We said Cultivator was overrated 10 years ago.
Before you were born, Mitch. Yeah, so expect to check your email box because there's definitely some blackmail in there for you to stop looking at our videos.
Yeah, Mitch's new hashtag.
Notice the nerds at Commander's Corners.
At Commander's Quarters. Notice the nerds. Hashtag stop stealing their ideas.
Hashtag,
Mitch.
and then link the Cultivate video.
We're heading out, guys.
Yeah.
This was a fun video.
It's enough shade.
This was fun. Whatever. Yeah, obviously, if we have, maybe disclaimer guy can come back for the end of the video so he can do a disclaimer that we're not actually throwing shade.
We're not throwing shade at the professor or Mitch or anyone.
Well, wow, you were throwing shade at the professor. You said you weren't throwing shade at anybody.
I said if it was shade, it was the nicest possible shade.
Nicest
that was
possible.
clearly throwing shade. So we're done.
Shade. Peace out, Tribe Scout.